Happy Monday. Today is November 2nd. Tomorrow is election day. I've got my red, white, and blue tie on, my white shirt, so I'm trying to be very patriotic. So, it's finally here. Realizing that after tomorrow, no more of those political advertisements where this candidate's going to be bragging about what they're going to do and that candidate's the most horrible person on the face of the earth and should be executed and flogged out in public and all that stuff. It's all going to be gone, and thank God, because aren't we just tired of it? It seems like it never, ever ends. You know, one thing I really wish the politicians who are in office would enact a law, but you know what? They would never do that because the law would be against themselves, where they would be required to tell the truth. You know, for me personally, when I look at politicians, I try to see things through the eyes of the clients of the MLD Agency. How will this person affect the clients of the MLD Agency for the next 4 years? And I look at it, the last 12 years, the clients of the MLD Agency have been really hurt by the politicians and what they've decided for this country. You know, since the politicians have gotten involved in health insurance, I've seen the premiums go up 4 times what they were 12 years ago. That's far beyond the pace of inflation. I've seen deductibles go up 10 times. 10 times. That's great, isn't it? Premiums are so much higher, deductibles are so much higher, and people say, you know what, why am I paying an insurance premiums? It's almost worthless to me, especially if you don't really have much in the way of severe claims. How do I pay this deductible? Oh, but let's be fair. The politicians on their health insurance have given us 10 essential benefits. You know what? That's like when you buy a car from a dealer brand new, it comes with tires and an engine and seats and a steering wheel. But they've given us the 10 essential benefits. What I'm saying is that those benefits were already there to begin with. Oh, but come on, Mark. Let's also be honest here. The politicians have given us coverage for pre-existing conditions. You know what? When the Affordable Care Act first came out, a lot of my clients called me up, and it was the business clients, in all fairness, saying, what are they talking about? I go, I don't know. You know what? If they tell you something, sooner or later you're going to believe it. For businesses, pre-existing conditions have been covered going back to about 1995. For personal insurance, pre-existing conditions were not covered. The policies, in fairness, were medically underwritten. However, if you bought your insurance before you got sick, it was a non-issue. And people who bought their insurance were the people who were morally behaving responsibly. But let's continue our topic on pre-existing conditions, because that's a big issue with politicians. This person's going to cover pre-existing conditions, that person's not. But that person says they're going to cover pre-existing condition when the other person isn't. So you know what? It's just kind of like a circle. They keep going around and around and around. The truth is about pre-existing conditions is we have them covered now, whether you're talking about a group policy or personal plans. However, the Affordable Care Act, in the truth, is very, very unforgiving. You have to fit into the Affordable Care Act specific mold. If you don't, you're SOL. And that's a problem for me. Because in the past, before the Affordable Care Act, if you didn't fit into that particular mold, I had options for you. Now the options are very, very limited, especially here in Illinois. One of the options says if you don't fit into a particular mold, you can only buy temporary insurance for up to 180 days. I have no idea what they were thinking. They must have had a lapse in brain power at that particular point in time, because people are always telling me something has happened and the first half of the year they can only get insurance for 6 months. It would make common sense. Oh, but I'm sorry, politicians don't have that. Common sense to allow us to be able to purchase and for me to sell a temporary policy that would at least allow them to carry through that calendar year. So if in March you find out that maybe your employer didn't pay your insurance, you've gone through a divorce and you didn't find out you lost insurance, I can only get you insurance for 6 months. What happens to the rest of the year? Geez, I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that one because the politicians say I can't. Or I have to write you another policy, and the problem with that can be is you may have developed a pre-existing condition. So did they really cover pre-existing conditions? So I'm sorry, I rant and rave because it's a problem that I have within my agency. But let's go back to the truth about pre-existing conditions. Remember in Aladdin, the genie tells the Aladdin, tell the truth. That's what I'd like to have the politicians do. But the politician who tells the truth probably won't be elected or re-elected. Here's the truth about pre-existing conditions. If you have insurance, your pre-existing condition is covered. You're not going to lose your insurance because you have a pre-existing condition. That is the simple truth. The other part of the truth is, if you don't have insurance and you need to purchase insurance in the future, the Affordable Care Act is basically a financial bust. It doesn't work. Sooner or later, it's going to die. We in the industry know this. If you want to wait and wait and wait and wait, at some point in time, pre-existing conditions may not be covered. So the prudent thing would be to purchase your insurance today to make sure that if you do get sick in the future, your conditions will be covered. That is the simple truth. So another question I get here is, Mark, who would you vote for? This is what I believe. That vote is your personal, private decision. I believe that each and every American should understand the issues, educate themselves on what each candidate stands for, and vote their clear conscience. I believe each and every American should treat the vote as something very, very valuable and treat it as such by making an informed vote. From our position here at the MLD Agency, all the fussing back and forth about pre-existing conditions is simply a non-issue. They're making something out of nothing, kind of like Chicken Little. The sky is falling, the sky is falling. As I said, pre-existing conditions, for those who have insurance, is covered. For those who need to purchase insurance in the future, if they don't have it, that's when maybe they should be worried about pre-existing conditions, but not in today's marketplace. So, whether you've already voted or you're going to vote later on today or tomorrow, please vote, make well-informed decisions, and whoever the candidate that wins, let's as Americans rally around that person for the betterment of this country. And that is probably the most political I'll ever become, and it is just my perspective. On another note, we are in open enrollment. Yesterday, open enrollment for health insurance for under 65 individual began. It runs from November 1st to December 15th. As I said, with politicians in voting, make informed decisions. I've given you a few videos in the past. Go back and look at it. Make a good decision for your insurance. And please don't hesitate to give me a call. My number is listed on the bottom here. We'll help you make the best decision possible, the best product available for you, whether it's buying it privately or going through the marketplace. And for groups who need help with their insurance, now's a good time to call us also. We're pretty big in the group marketplace. Look forward to your phone call.